Tanya Vann here, and I wanted to shoot a video and just talk about the experience that I have been going through. I haven't done a video on my channel in over 2 weeks, and as most of you know, my husband has been sick, and that 2 weeks, actually it's been a little more than 2 weeks, but the past 2 to 3 weeks have been a living nightmare, to be honest. So I'm going to tell you about that. So this is kind of a story time video, so stay tuned. It's my story time. So like I said, it's been a living nightmare the past few weeks, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my husband's health issues and what we've been going through, and then I'm going to bring him on and we're going to talk in a little more detail, and then we're going to talk about some plans that we have just for a new phase of our life. Okay, so like I said, this is more of just me telling our story, what's been going on with my husband and his health. And the reason I wanted to share this is because I believe it could potentially help someone. I have done a ton of research on what it is that he ended up being diagnosed with, and if it could help some other people, because this is a very rare disease state that he has, and there's not a whole lot of information out there with people sharing their stories, people who have it, and you know, it's just helpful. And then even if you don't have this, I believe there's a lesson to be learned in our experience that could save, you know, your life. Not to be over dramatic, but let me just get into the story. So my husband, he has had some health issues for over a year now, and pretty scary health issues where he lost like 70 to 80 pounds in a very quick time frame, less than 6 months, probably like in 3 to 4 months. He was passing out all the time, not all the time, but multiple times. He would just black out, pass out. He blacked out with his eyes open, where I thought he had died before, because he was just completely non-responsive and he did not look alive, but his eyes were open. It was very scary. We had to end up rushing him to the emergency room. And so just with all of the different symptoms that he was having and the things that were going on, at the time I started doing my own research, because the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. I'm sure some of you have experienced that happen in your life before, where it's like, okay, something's wrong and nobody can figure out what. What I did is I just, you know, I spent many nights awake on Dr. Google. And so I Googled all of his symptoms. I just put them all back to back, you know, and a disease came up, a condition called Addison's disease. And I was reading it and I was like, this sounds exactly like what he has. And so I asked the doctor about it. They said he didn't have it. They first one said no, it wasn't that. He didn't test him for it or anything. The second one, because he was seeing several doctors at the time, just trying to figure out what was going on. You know, they were checking all kinds of things, you know, to see if it was this or that or this. So the second doctor said, sounds like maybe potentially it could be that. So she tested him for it, but the test came back that it wasn't that. So she just started treating him. She was more of a naturopath doctor, and so she started treating him with natural supplements, and it was working. I mean, he was getting a lot better.